Welcome to welcome. What? Welcome.
Hello.
Right? That's what I'm saying. Welcome, welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to me. Welcome to Jeff. Welcome, welcome. Welcome, welcome. Testing, testing. Testing, testing, testing. It can hear us.
It's low. It's super low.
It's super low.
You think we need to change it better?
Could be. We can't be having this every single time.
We're perfectly fine.
Every single time. Dog. Everything is solid. Literally, we were just testing this thing.
Your mic sounds like its ears are clogged laughing my fucking ass.
We see it. Snot! I don't know what happened.
You gotta do that thing again?
I do that weird thing again. Default. Do that and then see. That sucks, bro. This is like, you know what? We should have expected this because today wasn't even. It was one of. Testing. Seriously?
How do you do that?
I don't know. Maybe I keep accidentally touching the thing. That's stupid. All right. All right. Welcome to Tabletop Topics. I'm your host, Jeff.
And of course, Jeff, guys, if you want to catch and watch our ugly mugs on Tuesdays and Thursdays, we're on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Pandora, Deezer, TuneIn, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, and now YouTube Music. We also have our YouTube channel, one word, Tabletop Topics, our Triple T's Clips channel, and
What
our
did you say,
TikTok.
timestamps? Down below.
If you click on the link, it'll take you directly to the episodes, and of course, we have timestamps so you can navigate throughout. Don't forget to like, subscribe, ring the notification bell, and of course, leave us a comment. Again, guys, thank you again for joining us at the tabletop. Let's jump right into it. Let's jump right into it. Let's
No! Oh, man. No. All right, hold on.
let's
Try it now.
She said better. You froze now. We're good.
Oh, man. Are we still frozen?
No.
Man, that's like, I'm dead.
We're good. Like Jesus. Bro. Murphy's Law, man.
Nah, that's literally been all today.
Murphy's Law.
All today, bro. Literally, I wake up first thing, like my boy, Mike,
Sit down.
my partner for the B&B Sportscast, bro. Hit me with some grim news.
What happened to him?
My bro gashed his eye, man.
That's crazy.
My man gashed his eye.
So you guys are supposed to do an episode today.
Yeah, we're supposed to do an episode today. We're going to review, like, the finals, MVP, what this means. We're just going to kind of break down, and, NBA draft's about to come out.
Yeah.
So we're just kind of, and then, like, maybe behind the scenes, just kind of talk about what we want to plan going into, midsummer, because sports be slowing down a bit.
Yeah, for sure.
And then maybe we could talk about some other sports fields and whatnot. Yeah, and then later on, what was it? I was supposed to do something. I was supposed to go to Mom's house, help her plant the banana trees. That got cut short because she had to go to the church and like help hand out donations. And then so I was like, all right, we got one more thing to do, and that's like, let's go. We had a planned trip to the bank.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then what was his name? Dan Devin?
Dale.
Dale was supposed to help us, and
You don't know who I am.
you don't know who I am, but I know where you live.
Dale, is that you? That's tough. When I found out, tangent. When I found out his voice actor died for Dale Gribble,
Yeah,
that was spooky. And this was for. They had already recorded 3 episodes of the revival series of King of the Hill.
Yeah,
it was going to be centered around Bobby Hill. He's going to be working at a restaurant as a chef.
Yeah, because they always
propane.
No, they always hinted at that because he was always cooking or baking in.
Right, but he never used propane, right?
No, he never used.
Right, because Hank was always trying to teach him
we also
all the qualities.
Also propane and propane accessories.
You know.
The chicken was fire. The tacos were delicious. I would say that I was done.
Wait, what are we talking about?
She's like,
context.
How was
you gotta read the comment.
How was them tacos?
You gotta read the comment. You did it. We're not reading your mind.
Oh, okay, yeah. In my mind, I was reading it, but no. So,
how were the tacos? Says Snot.
Snot's like, how was the tacos? Says Snot.
Oh,
they were delicious. They made accommodations for me because I can't have beef.
Yeah.
So I finished work 3 hours ahead of time because I had some overtime, but I couldn't leave. So I was there. I clocked out at 10:46, but I couldn't leave because they were just barely making the chicken for the tacos. So I'm like, it'd be fucked up for them to do that accommodation, and then for me to just get up and leave. Because it's like, the only reason why we did this, there's a couple other people that ate
that don't eat beef,
that would enjoy the chicken tacos, but the main purpose of them doing that, because they said they were gonna, it was Associate Appreciation Day, and they said that they're gonna do tacos 3 weeks ago, and I said, I told my assistant store manager I can't eat beef, and he's like, no, we can make accommodations for you. So they decided to do chicken tacos. It wasn't just me that ate it; we had some other people that ate it too, but. I was literally the main reason why they decided.
What they seasoned them over with?
It was seasoned. I would just let you know that. I don't know.
Were they like the pre-season?
I don't know because the assistant meat manager, I don't know what she put in it, but no, it wasn't pre-seasoned. She seasoned it. She seasoned the.
She's Spanish?
No. She looks Italian, but.
Oh, okay.
But she pre-seasoned it. Let it soak overnight.
Yeah.
Like you can tell, because when you were looking at the chicken, it was like a dark orange type.
Italians is the only white people I know that be seasoned.
Mamma mia!
You know what I'm saying? They be seasoned. That's why I fuck with
you.
Italians.
What? Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
No, but yeah. So no, but they were incredible. They were really delicious. I had like maybe 4 or 5 tacos, and then of course
little small tacos.
Yeah.
Like the ones you be getting at the.
Well, they had the hard tacos, and then of course they had the flowers, and then they had the corn. So they had different types.
You know what? I actually need to respond to my coworker.
She said she took every seasoning in the meat department. You what? Well, now we know.
Oh, I'm dead.
Hey, whatever she put in the seasoning was very delicious, even if she did mix it up. So.
No, I think the best tacos come from Immokalee.
The Spanish tacos? No, man. Before the hurricane, there was a small Mexican taco place ahead, like 2 miles up our store. It was like a small mom and pop.
Nah, Immokalee.
No, you haven't had those.
No, Immokalee.
You haven't had those.
Immokalee.
No, you haven't had those.
You ain't had no.
You cannot.
You can't tell me.
Let me tell you this.
All right, name the Immokalee tacos you've had.
All right.
Name the Immokalee tacos.
Let me tell you this. What I always say is this. Don't just. You got to try a spot before you say Immokalee.
No, because that spot is out of place. Nope, Immokalee. That's like saying, oh, yeah, Little Havana doesn't have the best Cuban food. Little Haiti doesn't have the best Haitian food. Right? Chinatown doesn't have the best Asian food.
But that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying is you can't say something's the best if you've only had it.
It is the best. I'm not going to have the other one because I know it's not the best. Why am I going to waste money to have something that's not par? Why?
You what?
Why? Why am I going to waste my money? In my taste buds.
This nigga.
In my brain. Look. My brain has to process the flavor.
All right, Jeff.
And then come to a decision that it's not the best.
All right, we'll go with whatever you say. You fat caca.
No, bro. What is the place called? Where did you have these tacos? You don't even know the name
No,
of
I
the
don't
place.
know
That's
the
how
name.
you know it's not the best fucking tacos.
No, it was.
Point proven.
It was.
It
was so good I couldn't remember
It's
it.
so good he can't even remember the damn place. That's tough. That's tough. That's tough. You see? See, I could have saved all that carbon
Shit.
dioxide.
Yeah.
What the hell?
You're feeding the plants.
That's tough. That's tough.
You
like
what?
I said, Immokalee has the
shit.
best tacos, bro.
Yeah.
Literally every corner store has tacos, bro. Like, my goodness. I think they got the best ice cream. What are you doing, Jeff?
Oh shit.
Oh no.
Oh yes.
You just wanted to freeze me.
Did you freeze?
Yeah. I always freeze. Anytime something happens to like the connections, I always freeze. Really?
That's my fault, guys.
What if you got me in an ugly face?
I froze my brother.
What if I was like, ugh.
You are in an ugly face.
Seriously? It really froze?
Yeah.
No, wait, did I unfreeze?
Yeah, you're fixed. You're fixed. No, but
Go ahead.
no, you're good now. You're good now. But no, like I was saying, like they accommodated me for that. So even though I got off 2 hours early, I just waited there, chilled, talked, had conversations with people just until it was ready. Had about 4 or 5 tacos and then chicken tacos, and then I left, and that's when I was hitting you up while I was driving home.
Okay.
So we can go take care of the bank situation thing. But no, man, yeah, like you said, it was one bad thing after another. Like of course your boy. So you guys are going to be doing the sports podcast for a minute. Yeah,
right.
because he's gonna.
While his eye.
Yeah, well, he has to
slice the eyeball.
figure out his situation with his eyeball. And
Fuck it, I'm just taking the whole eye out.
what?
Yep,
You what?
just taking the whole eye out. I don't know. I feel like
But-
if we started, might as well finish it.
Well, the doctor said it's resilient, right?
Nope.
No.
Fuck what the doctor said. I'm taking my eye out.
What?
Yep.
He just wants that robotic eye so he can see through things.
I wanted an eye patch, but I don't know. Robotic eyes.
And, you know, I mean,
I don't know. That sounds
laser
pretty
beams.
good.
You know, you can add
I
special
don't know about
features.
laser beams.
Yep,
I don't know.
you
about
know,
laser
see through things.
beams. See through things.
That's why he really wants it.
I don't know. Maybe if I could like perceive the spectrum of light, but how would my brain process that? Right?
Hey, you're gonna have to rewire your brain so it can process.
No,
it.
isn't that some fucked up shit? Right? We have all these types of cameras, right? Like infrared and blah blah blah.
Uh-huh.
But that's how the camera sees it. How would the brain see it?
Don't know.
Like that's the camera's interpretation of infrared, and then our eyes see
Because remember, we're technically
what
everything.
the camera.
Everything is technically upside down.
interpreting.
Our vision just fixes it so we can see it right side up. So we're Spider-Man.
Like think about it, right? You know how when they take pictures of space, right? When they say this isn't the actual colors of space.
Uh-huh.
We just assigned colors dependent on the wavelength in which we took the image.
Yeah.
So if it's all in infrared, the longest infrared wavelengths and the shortest infrared through the shortest infrared wavelengths will get assigned a certain color. And when those wavelengths are picked up by the spectrometer or the light spectrometer, it assigns it that color. So that's why when they say the picture you see in space isn't actually space.
What is it?
It's mostly gas and black.
Gotcha.
Because you got to remember, yes.
Dark matter between.
Well, not even just dark matter, heat. That's the easiest way to see everything. Heat.
Infrared.
Yeah, it's the longest. It's like when we watched the Dyson sphere, right? You know, everyone kept talking about the news.
like-
Oh, it's a Dyson sphere. It's a Dyson sphere. It's a Dyson sphere.
Like
right?
a Type 2 civilization.
Right. Even if you completely blocked out the sun still gives out heat. Heat is still, you can still register heat.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? So it's like, in terms of like with infrared, you know, with the whole going back to the eye thing.
Yeah.
Right. Like, yes, that's what the camera is showing. This is how the camera shows us infrared.
Mm-hmm.
But is that how our brain would process infrared?
I don't know. We have to test that theory. Let's
Well,
scoop
I don't
your
know.
eyeballs
Like,
out.
we can't see infrared. Like, how do you program the brain to see infrared?
Aren't we a giant computer? If we put Neuralink in, we just tell the brain to process infrared.
I don't know. But right. Because, like, it goes into a whole nother thing, right? I'm starting to sound like Terrence Howard, right?
Don't do that.
But it goes into a whole nother thing, right? So it's like, oh, okay, how do we see infrared? Okay, wear a red contact lens, right? A red filtered contact lens. Or something like that. Something that only allows you to see red. Or no, that was wrong. That was completely wrong. A red contact lens would not help you see infrared. It would just block out
Jeff, you got to get to the point.
everything but red.
You what?
Yeah, you're kind of just.
But the main
you're
point.
speaking English
okay,
right now.
Okay. But the main point. The main point is, how do we truly know, like infrared? Like, I don't know. Like, just seeing shit. Because we're talking about the eye. So it just made me think, like, just not being able to see shit. You know, and then you said something about, we'll be able to see, with a robotic eye. And then I was like, okay, what if we can see the entire light spectrum? But the light spectrum is flawed because it's not flawed. But the way we perceive the light spectrum is flawed in how we apply it to seeing other wavelengths of light, because we only apply our understanding of visible light to the rest of the light spectrum.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? Like, prime example, if the dogs can only see black and white.
That's not true.
I know it's not true, but like they can see a limited spectrum of colors.
Of color, yes.
Right. So that means they can't see all the spectrum of colors we can. So how do you you're not explaining to a dog, but what if we had the eyesight of a dog?
I got you.
You see what I'm saying?
Well,
how would we look at light spec?
Well, because I know an assistant grocery manager that's colorblind with certain colors.
Right.
Well, a couple. I know a young kid named Andrew, and then I know a young kid named Brandon. But he has special glasses, like his glasses are yellow or blue, so it'll help him see specific colors. I mean, I'm pretty sure they navigate pretty well, even though they can't tell the difference between certain blues.
But they're not seeing infrared. That's
that's
color blindness within
the
visible spectrum.
That's true. Because
you see what I'm saying? Like,
what animal can't see infrared? That's
snakes.
Snakes. Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
a lot of reptiles.
So what you're saying is you have to be blind.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, you know how every time they're like, oh, this is how snakes see infrared. Is that really how snakes see infrared?
What did the snot dog say?
Sorry, I docked the comments.
You got a lot to read.
It's a loading.
Loading.
Let's see if I can bring it up again.
No, but go ahead. What were
you might
saying?
have to read the comments. But what was I saying?
Okay, so her first comment is you walk in the door, walls are painted yellow, and there's a shrine to Mother Mary. That's how you know it's real. She also said, put an eye patch on. The show must go on. And then she's like, a species of shrimp can see a crap ton more color than we can because they have more color catching cells in their eyes. Oh, you got it up. Okay.
Right. It's up. Okay.
And the last one.
Right. You feel me?
Yeah.
But it's like, how do we know what the shrimp is seeing? We could interpret what the shrimp is seeing by mimicking the wavelengths of light that the shrimp's eye is picking up. And then we look at the example, what the computer or the processor displays to us.
Well, can't we do that? Doesn't people in the Army use like night vision? They can switch it to infrared. They can switch it to all those type of things.
Right.
Do they do that, or is that just a movie type thing? That's not real.
No, that's a real thing. That's what your eyes are actually seeing when you put on.
Because you're saying how does our brain interpret it? But if you
Right.
can simulate it or actually create it with those night vision goggles that they use.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. See, now, let's say a snake sees infrared. Is a snake seeing the blues and the reds and the hues of the different hot and cold spots that you see when a camera is picking up infrared?
Probably not.
Oh, you see what I'm saying?
They could probably everything is probably black, and they just see the outline,
bright spots or some shit like
the
that,
outline
right?
shape of it, which is why they know when you're
right.
Hold on.
You see what I'm saying?
She,
which is wild. I want to know what colors I'm. No, that's facts. They actually say a lot of like great artists had like were monoconal or polyconal. They had a fourth cone, or they had extra light sensing cones in their retina, so they could see a larger spectrum of colors. LJ, no skill. Yes, sir. Welcome, brother.
Okay, so Snot said that YouTube censored her thing because she said, fuck both of y'all. She said, San Juan, Julian is where it's at. Fuck both of you all. She's talking about the taco place.
Oh, the taco. I'm dead. LJ No Skill
We got
says
you.
beauty is in the eye of the beholder. So is there a comment that I'm not seeing? Because it's only Snot and LJ that I just saw.
Yeah.
Snot, it's censoring you again. You got to put in like a request or something. You got to talk to YouTube. They hating. They hating, bro. Snot be asking the real questions.
Yeah.
Real cases, real people.
No, she was talking about a taco joint spot. That
Snot dog.
Yeah.
Real tacos. Real chicken.
But no, I get what you're saying, because when you do have the infrared on the night vision goggles that Army, the Marines, all those people do use when they are on a mission.
It's color.
Yeah, so it'll show the infrared of the human being or an object that's around it, but you can see everything else around it. It's not just that.
Right. Like you stare out into space and it's black, but it's not. Space is hot, space is cold. Like there's hot and cold spots and you can only see that in infrared. But it's like,
What did she say?
let me insult the Jeffs Susam.
Susam.
You what?
We insult each other all the time.
Oh,
Sorry, we're not snowflakes.
I don't know. It's just shit like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But nah, going back to that, Terrence Howard made it worse for me to ask real questions, to have real discussions about my reality.
Yeah.
Because it's like, I'm not coming to conclusions. I'm not stating that. And that's where he fucked up, because like I be watching that shit and it's like, that could easily be me, right?
Yeah, exactly. But
where I just consume so much information and then I'm so confident in that information that I read, in my own ability to understand and digest that information, that I'll draw untested conclusions and shit like that.
Well, that's why I always say I like to, if I don't understand, I like to read. Like you started seeing me read more.
That's facts.
Because I'm like an old man now, so, and then I don't even do like digital books like everybody else. Like I have a Kindle Fire, but I'm not.
Be playing crossword, mahjong.
Oh, I got chess.
Sudoku.
I got chess on my phone too. So just I'm telling you, man. Yeah, I play chess against.
I know that's how it's like being old in the future, right?
Yeah,
you're playing digital games as an old man,
and that's why I'm wondering, like, because the thing is, like, I downloaded 3 games. I put Detroit Become Human on my queue. I downloaded Control. That's a game that came out like 2-3 years ago, and I also got Hellblade, because I know Hellblade 2 is coming out. So it was like it was like 90% off Steam, so I went ahead and grabbed it. But no, it's like like I said, if I don't know the information, I will learn it. Let me insult the Jeffs.
Nope. All
right there now. No. So like I said, if I don't know what I am consuming.
Bro says chess, you say, let me get the at.
Right. So what I do is I try to learn. Like right now, like I got 2 books.
Oh, we'll live stream that. But go ahead, Joe.
Live stream what?
Said Snot says you got a 1v1 LJ in chess.
It's been a minute. I've been practicing though, because I learned chess in elementary, and then it's hard.
You learned chess in elementary. When you gonna do buys and tries? Go ahead.
You what?
It's gonna be tomorrow morning at 5:00 in the morning.
Go ahead.
2 hour my 2 hour pump, guys. I hate you.
Oh man.
No. I learned chess in elementary, but it's very difficult to find people that play chess. So it's like every time you ask somebody, do they play chess? They never do. So I would have to play with. Remember Kaleidoscope? Mm-hmm. I would have to play with the counselors, because they're the ones that taught me, and then after that, I would try to challenge them. You get what I'm saying? So it was like it's like an on again, off again type thing, and it's difficult to find people that know how to play chess. So it's like I'm a little bit rusty, but I started practicing with the computer again, so I can see how well I can do. So it's like a muscle memory. I'm slowly trying to remember how to play chess like I used to when I was younger.
I feel that.
So I still remember the game, and
She's just playing AI.
yeah, I'm playing.
That's
AI
why I
right
used to
now.
tell Caleb, because when we play dominoes, I be talking shit. Like I talk.
What the fuck did she say?
Okay, Snot says buys and tries, but y'all skipping leg day. You meatball on toothpick. You can say that about me, but I don't know about Jeff.
Nah.
Jeff,
Oh no, you know what it is?
they ain't seen the leg.
They are.
They ain't seen the form factor. They ain't seen
You know
the
what?
1,200 horsepower that sits under this man's belt, bruh.
You know,
What?
You know why? Because I always wear long pants.
What?
I
That
always-
shit's crazy.
Yeah, I always wear long pants, so no one ever sees my calves or my legs. But no, I don't have shrimp legs.
That's
Um,
crazy. 60 foot-pounds of torque. What? That man. What?
What did our sister say?
That's
She's like,
crazy.
you like Batman running?
This nigga on a mission when he start running. It's spooky.
when you're running and your headphones die.
Nah, it's spooky. This shit's spooky. Nah, if you could imagine, what's his name from Cloudy with a Chance of Meatball? Flintlock Wood. How that motherfucker run? Yeah, that's how Jeff run.
Yeah.
Straight line. He can't cut.
No, I can't.
Can't cut.
I can't zigzag.
No left,
I can
right,
run
no
straight.
zigzag. Once
Bruh.
he get that momentum.
That's why it's funny because they're like, oh, if a shooter's trying to aim at you, you're supposed to zigzag, and I'm
Yep.
like, nah, I can't zigzag, bro. I'm running straight.
Yep. He could stop here. His inertia, his momentum will take him 30 more feet.
Mhm. That's the problem. It's really hard to stop.
Oh, man, you know what? Because I'm the juggernaut, bitch.
You what?
Sensational.
I miss that, bro. I miss when memes
Hey, we
were,
got the
were
movie.
simple.
We gotta be.
Because I'm the juggernaut, bitch.
But no. So like I said, if like you said with the whole Terrence Howard thing, we were having a conversation before we got on here. I was literally telling you, like, if I don't understand or know something well, I cannot speak on it. So what I'll try to do is do my due diligence and own research and try to understand it as well as possible. Like, for perfect example, you can tell me about black holes, and I can repeat what you've told me about black holes. But do I in depth understand why it is what it is and how I can learn more from it? You get what I'm saying?
Right.
So I prefer to find a book on it or get recommendations and learn about it. Like, perfect example, like the Book of Enoch. Always talking about it. Why was it removed from the Bible? Don't know why. All I hear is it was removed because it wasn't part of it. It didn't make sense. It was this, blaspheme, all that stuff. So what do I decide to do? I decide to buy the book so I can read it to understand why it was removed from the scripture itself. And for me, it's knowledge. It's not to convert, or it's not to give me a new.
Well, actually,
Face
you
ass.
what?
Don't be that man, Jeff.
What did you call him?
Don't be that man.
What's his name?
Terrence Howard?
No,
Who?
not Terrence Howard. The guy from the Book of Enoch.
Oh, Metatron.
Metatron.
You what?
My brother's like,
That nigga ascended. Oh, man.
my brother's like, don't become Metatron.
Oh, man.
The man literally said, "Oh, Jeff, I don't want you to be waking up at 5 a.m,
What?
floating in my room, talking about my alarm is going.
Bro.
off. It's time to ascend."
What? That bro phased through my walls and shit, all enlightened.
yeah.
What?
Mhm.
Nigga warping universe, reality. Nigga thinking universes and shit.
Yeah, so,
What?
so it's like
Chill.
it's like and then of course the other book that I got was Occult Feminism: The Origin or Origin of Where It Came From. Like, I hear all the time, I hear talking points on it, but I don't understand it. Why it is what it is. Why did they go for it? Has it helped or hurt the cause from then to now?
Well, you're looking at occult feminism and not necessarily like modern feminism.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah. So
Right.
so it's like to correct me, but that's kind of where it is. So I also got that book from Amazon too. So I'm gonna be reading that one first, and then of course the Book of Enoch after that. But it's like, for me, I am an informationalist. I like to learn and understand, not to learn and use against people. That's not what I'm here to do.
Or draw conclusions.
Or draw conclusions to what it is.
Or claim I know.
Exactly. I'm not. That's not what I'm
The
trying.
nature of reality.
What the fuck?
Nigga said, what
Metatron.
One is two.
Metatron.
Well, maybe he is Metatron. Maybe he did reinvent math or some shit. Who knows?
That's probably why everyone's looking at him like he's crazy. But
I saw
again,
that shit. That nigga said penny times penny.
a penny times a penny is 2 pennies, or 2 penny square, you know, or 1 penny square. That doesn't exist. The math ain't math unless you're, like we said, unless you're like a 4th dimensional being.
I don't
or something
understand. Like, do you know how crazy that is, right? You know how hard it is to build an entire argument or a
Again.
declaration when the first part, like, how do you get past the first part of being wrong? You understand what I'm saying?
He didn't think he was wrong. That's the problem. Remember, he didn't even give us a reason, a thesis, experiment, or anything. He just said, this is the reason why it's wrong, but he didn't give us proof on why it's wrong. You get what I'm saying?
That's like you building a car, right? And then saying cars don't run on engines.
Exactly.
Like, there's the thing.
The math ain't math.
The thing you just discredited created this.
Yep.
1 times 1 equals 2 is in everything. Like, we needed to use that.
1 times 1 equals
I'm
2.
sorry. 1 times 1 equals 1. See, you got me. You got me.
He's heard
I've been
this.
brainwashed.
He's heard this.
I've been oogity booped.
There's
Oh, man. They were brainwashed. But yeah. You know what I'm saying? 1 times 1 equals 1 is embedded in everything. You see what I'm saying? And it's more linguistics. It's not a literal representation of, you see what I'm saying? Because you could say times, you could say multiply, you could say by. Like 1 by itself
is that number.
Right. 2 by itself
is
1 of 2.
Yep, is 2.
You know what I'm saying?
And he's literally and the science community is going after him.
Oh no, they cooked that man. This man, he essentially said thousands of years of motherfuckers thinking and dying.
And he's saying they're all wrong.
Amounted to nothing. They're wrong.
Yeah, he's saying they're all
Wrong
wrong.
as
And
fuck.
that's the crazy part.
That's crazy.
Like he's saying they're
You
all
drove
wrong.
a car to that studio and said 1 times 1
is 2. And Neil deGrasse Tyson discredited. He
That nigga went on the internet.
he basically shitted on my thesis. He didn't even read it over. And Neil deGrasse Tyson.
My question. Pause. How you think he read his RPMs on the car?
Hey, he probably doesn't. It's an electric bike, so he doesn't know what the RPM.
No, how you think bro really reads
It's
his
an electric
RPMs?
bike. No, it's an electric bike. He doesn't read the RPMs
on the fucking car.
It's an electric bike. So, like I said,
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
yeah, I would never come off as somebody that knows everything. I am.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
How did he do it? I don't know. It's a mystery.
No, real shit. Real fucking shit.
No, like I
Like
said,
I have no problem saying I don't know or
yeah,
I'm wrong.
exactly, and that's the
Like
thing.
I'll open my mouth and say shit.
Well, it's like when
You know
we
what I'm
have perfect example. It's like when we have conversation when we invite people to the show, and then they're like, "Oh, well, do you know about this?" And we're like, "No, but can you enlighten us on it? Like, can you describe it? Can you explain it so we can get a better understanding of it?" We will never say, "I know more than you,"
Or you're wrong.
or "You're wrong."
Right.
I just want to understand your worldview
Because I'm not an expert in it.
exactly. So what I've learned throughout my 34, I'm living on my 34th year, my 34 years of living, even though I'm not 34 yet, is I don't know everything. You get what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
So every time I pick up a book or I learn something new, it's not like I take that knowledge and say, "You're wrong, Jeff. This is what I've learned. You're wrong."
Right.
I just keep
Right.
that knowledge in my head. And then when people are like, every time we have, remember what we talked about? Every time we have random conversations, something that we've learned clicks.
Right. It makes sense.
And then the first
like
thing,
we make that connection
Exactly.
later on when it's something that has
and
nothing
then
to do.
we can either talk about it
Right.
or give it little our perspective advice on it.
Right.
We're not telling them that this is the right way to go about it. We're just letting them know this is what we've learned from it.
Right.
Our worldview, basically.
Right. This is my what do they call it? When it's a personal experience,
Anecdotal. Yeah.
This is this is my
Anecdotal. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just like
It is, based off of what I've lived through, what I've experienced, and what I've understood.
Right.
moving forward. I'm
Yeah.
not going to take my experiences.
I just explained to you how my brain processes the information I'm taking.
Exactly.
I'm not saying I'm right. I'm just,
But now I kind of understand why our teachers, when we were young, would always say knowledge is power, and then I would say bullshit. Bullshit.
You really believe that at one point knowledge was in power?
Yeah. Yeah, I really, because remember when they'd say study, I wouldn't study. When they would say I would go play outside or watch cartoons
I
or
feel
do
that.
whatever. When they would say, if you read this chapter, explain it to me the next day, what would I do? I would read it while I was driving on the bus.
You what?
I'm dead. Nigga trying to focus.
Yep. Trying to memorize everything in the book, so when they do ask specific questions, I can write down specific answers. Remember, sometimes I wouldn't do the homework the night before. I would do it while I was in the plaza chilling with everybody.
Mhm.
You know how we would sit down, or I'd find somebody to copy off of. So I was a degenerate back in the day, in that sense, not in like the worst sense.
Because he
But
didn't
it's not-
study, guys.
Yeah.
I shows
So-
you Jeff's character, guys.
Yes, that's my character. I'm a degenerate.
What the
I'm a degenerate to society for not
what
studying.
the fuck? Meanwhile, I'm stealing golf carts off the fucking campus and sneaking out, driving
You
to
what?
McDonald's and
What?
fucking.
Like, what are we even talking about? I didn't do the homework, and I read it on the bus.
Go ahead.
Yep.
Go ahead.
Well, you know me. I was like the.
I feel it.
Yeah.
I respect it.
But no, so that's kind of the things I would used to do as when I was young. So growing up and as I got older, like even from my 20s, even from my early 20s to mid 20s, it wasn't that. And then something just clicked where I just started saying, man, I want to learn more. I want to understand people more. I want to stop being so angry, stop being so self-loathing, stop doing all this crap.
Ignorant.
Yes, exactly. And actually learn that everybody has a different worldview. You get what I'm saying?
right.
I can talk to people all the live, because when you talk to people for so long, you understand that everybody's experience is completely different. And a lot of people don't understand that, because sometimes you'll go out in the world, not you specifically, but in general,
Right.
like you'll go out in the world and you'll be like, man, whatever I went through, they should understand what I went through.
That's true.
You get what I'm saying? But they don't ever step outside themselves and say, they don't. So why am I getting upset at them for not understanding my perspective on my life or my reality? And I think a lot of people don't see that until they're like, oh, you're mean, or you're an asshole, or why would you treat me
Right.
this way? All that stuff. Go ahead.
Well, here's the catch, right?
Caveat.
Let's say you don't combat people
Mm-hmm.
on certain worldviews.
Mm-hmm.
That's not based in reality, right?
Yeah.
And then you end up like someone like Terrence
Terrence
Howard.
Howard. Yes.
You see what I'm saying?
You got to.
Because I say
Feelings.
reality can be whatever you
want
want
it to be. Yeah.
based on the absolute truths
Yes.
that we understand
Mhm.
of reality.
The third dimension.
You see what I'm saying? Like, yes, reality is happening here.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? But like, you're still limited by the physical,
The physical realm. Yes.
the physical realm. You see what I'm saying? Not necessarily saying that the realities that happen in here aren't plausible or potential to happen here. We just haven't reached that point. But we still have to follow the rules of the absolute truths
Mm-hmm.
that have been established before we get to those otherworldly realms. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, there isn't an absolute truth. There is a true nature of reality.
Of course. Yeah.
But it's like we have to build those building blocks. And if you're already fucking up the first block,
then you kind of just throw everything.
you
else
throw
out.
everything right. You're building on a weak foundation or no foundation at all.
Exactly.
An imaginary foundation.
Mhm.
And he got as far as to even saying he discovered whatchamacallit, the actual mass of Saturn.
What?
Right.
You what?
You see what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah, of course, you fuck up the beginning equation of your entire.
Well, even with E equals MC squared, he was even.
he wasn't even using the full equation,
full equation,
which
yeah.
accounts for
velocity.
velocity, inertia,
Mhm.
momentum. You see what I'm saying? It's just a shorthanded version, E equals mc squared, because nothing travels faster than the speed of light. So E equals mc squared is the statement, because the highest form of energy, the highest energetic particle that exists,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying, is the photon. You see what I'm saying?
Mhm.
The speed of light. That's the speed limit. But there is more, because you have to incorporate mass and momentum
Gotcha.
and inertia. Light has no mass, which is why it can travel at the speed of light.
Of light, exactly.
To travel at the speed of light and have mass, it needs to be infinite.
Mhm.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You need an infinite mass or near infinite mass to even approach a percentage of the speed of light. But he didn't include that. He just said everything is light, because he saw E equals mc squared, c is the speed of light, m is mass, equals energy.
So he didn't even break it down.
He didn't even break it down.
Gotcha.
He even look at the full equation.
So at that point, he's already he's starting off from a false premise or false start.
Right.
Because as soon as
Everything
you
can't be light.
discredit
Right.
everything else, then that's
Everything can't be light, because everything has mass. That's why E equals mc squared works, because light has no mass.
Gotcha.
So that's dope. That's dope.
No, but that's the thing. And again, like I said, going back to my point, it's like, if I don't know, then I learn to
right,
understand.
I'll just learn.
Yeah, so but you can't be going on bashing people, and then you're going to colleges and giving that same spiel to
Right.
everybody,
Right.
making these college students believe
Right.
this theory that you haven't even proven
Right.
yet, because you're trying to change the entire concept of what math is or mathematics
reality.
of reality.
Right.
Yeah,
Reality.
Like, because what does he want, a Nobel Peace Prize? Is that
I don't
what he's
know.
trying to do?
I'm guessing. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. Maybe he wants to be outside his body. Maybe he believes because sometimes when people come into such an intense amount of information, especially about the world that exists around them,
Yeah. Like he finally unplugged?
like he woke up but too hard, too fast.
Ah, okay. I see what you're saying.
Right.
So he didn't. He
You
basically,
know how when we always say, when we give someone a piece of information
and they go down the rabbit
and
hole.
then they come back after going down a rabbit hole, and it's like they've lost their mind.
Yes, because they didn't consume it.
They didn't, right.
Pieces at a
They
time.
didn't consume it piece at a time. They didn't try to understand every part of the information that they were consuming.
Gotcha.
You see what I'm saying? It's like, let's say we know something. Oh, man, by the way, such and such is responsible for doing things like these. You see what I'm saying? Or so they'll go into it, and then for some reason they'll end up down some fucking
Rabbit hole.
end up at a conspiracy.
Yeah, perfect example. It's like one of my crew members. As soon as they found out with what happened with Diddy, they started going down a rabbit hole. Remember, we had that conversation. I said, you literally have to slow it back, take a deep breath,
Right.
consume the content a little bit at a time, because you'll go down a rabbit hole and you'll only keep focusing on that, and
Here's the problem,
it'll
right?
get worse and worse. Yeah.
They'll read these really complex books or explanations or articles, right?
Mm-hmm.
And this is, I'm trying to look at this from like an everyday.
Are they
man.
trying to pull something
no,
from it?
Everyday man, right?
Okay.
So like I'm reading an article.
Uh-huh.
First thing I'm looking for are words that I understand.
Okay.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
First time I look at an article, I have no idea of the concept.
Mm-hmm.
Or let's say I have some pre-knowledge of the concept.
Okay.
I'm going to scan through the article or the document or the text,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm going to look for words that I understand.
Okay.
All right. Now I see words that I understand. And I'm going to read the first line. I'm going to read the first paragraph. And using the words that I understand, I'll try to make inferences into for concepts that they're trying to explain to me.
Gotcha.
You see what I'm saying? Usually they'll provide diagrams, examples, blah, blah,
So
blah.
you're basically trying to connect something.
Right.
Yeah.
And this is to get to the wrong conclusion. Like I'm telling you how I would get to the wrong conclusion.
You what?
Right?
Yeah.
So because I understand all the other extra shit around the topic that I'm talking about, and I know I can look at a picture. Everyone knows, you know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, for sure.
You know,
for
it's
sure.
a fucking
yeah.
picture, diagram, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Or read info A, B, you know, on the diagram, and it tells you all this shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
So now I read it. I've read the word. I fully don't understand this. So they introduced this new word to me, right?
Right.
Let's say they say the phospholipid bilayer. You know?
You what?
You know, the phospholipid bilayer. You know?
Uh-huh.
And
What does that
this
mean?
is a book on anatomy, physiology. You see what I'm saying? You know?
Yeah.
It's shorthand. It's what allows for molecules, proteins, and things to pass between the cell wall and the outside of the cell. Like when your blood is bringing nutrients and oxygen and shit like that.
Gotcha.
There's like a right. You see what I'm saying? So like energy, anything that's ATP, any sugars, anything that's going into the cell to power the mitochondria needs to pass through, phospholipid bilayer. And only certain proteins and shapes are allowed to pass through that.
Gotcha. Okay.
You know what I'm saying? But that's neither here nor there. But you see a word like phospholipid bilayer, and it's I just learned
This is
a new
such a
word.
big word.
Such a big word.
It's so.
Sensation.
This is anatomy. I'm learning cool shit.
Now let me regurgitate it.
Now I read this thing word for word. And this is a professionally published research book.
Uh-huh.
You see what I'm saying? This is my source. No one's gonna dispute this source. A smart person wrote this. They
So he inserted it
they
into his book.
distributed this multiple, everywhere in schools and shit like that.
Yeah.
So I am confident in the information that I'm reading from this book. So even without understanding it, all I have to do is regurgitate everything I'm saying and then cite it, and like
They can't dispute it.
they can't dispute it.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. I still don't know what phospholipid bilayer is.
You what?
So I'm going to use my skill of using, my surrounding words, context clues, and, the images, and come up with a reason why the phospholipid bilayer does what it
You
does.
came up with a bullshit.
You see what I'm saying?
A bullshit.
But I did all the steps right.
Yeah. No, you skipped a lot of steps.
I skipped a lot of
Yeah,
steps.
you did. You didn't do no goddamn steps, right?
You feel what
Bro,
I'm saying?
you skipped a lot of steps.
I skipped a lot of steps. But like, as long as I cite the book and I tell you these big words and I use them correctly,
That's all that matters.
that's all that matters.
Yeah,
Even though I don't fully understand the concept.
But who did he get an audience with?
Jeff, he got this shit published, man. And he's famous. Who's not going to listen to Terrence Howard?
I'm not.
He's Terrence Howard.
I don't care.
Insert any other actor, Jeff.
I don't care.
Bullshit.
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 But Jeff, I don't know.
Insert
Jeff.
Even if you don't know. I said insert any other actor, Jeff.
Yeah.
Someone's going to say yes to Terrence Howard.
I will. Oh no, I'm talking about in the sense of they will listen to. Like I will listen to.
Someone's going to say yes to Terrence
Of
Howard.
course,
Someone's
yeah,
gonna,
especially if they get on their
like,
knees,
what are
bro.
we
We
talking
already
about?
know that.
Like, what are we talking about? It's Terrence Howard.
Yeah.
And they could do it maliciously, too.
Yeah.
Even if they even if they believe everything he's saying is a crock of shit, it's like,
I'm gonna make money.
I'm
off
going to
of
make bread
him.
off
Yeah.
of this
At the end of the day, it's about money.
guy.
For
Right.
him, he is passionate about what he's talking
What he's
about.
talking
But for
about.
Terrence Howard, but for the publisher, it's more about money.
And there's
guys.
nothing wrong for
Well,
Terrence
what I'm
Howard
saying-
wanting to know more.
The crazy thing is he sent his thesis to
Neil deGrasse Tyson.
the great Neil deGrasse
right,
Tyson.
the one and only.
And then, of course, he said, I don't critique this based off of feelings. I'm going to critique this based off of a scientist.
Right.
So in order
Doing a peer review
doing a peer
on
review.
one of my colleagues.
Yeah, exactly. And,
Who are clearly way more qualified than you.
oh,
You see what I'm saying?
exactly.
That's my boy. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying?
And no one ever really gets an audience with him unless he. But
That's
he's like,
bro,
exactly.
crazy.
And a lot of people cannot say that they've. Oh my God, Neil deGrasse Tyson took the time out of his day to not only read my
That's
entire
crazy.
thesis, but he critiqued.
You wasted a thesis reading from me. Do you understand that? That's crazy, right?
You what?
Let's say there's a probability of like X amount of people. There's a percentage X amount of people Neil deGrasse Tyson will ever read their thesis. He just wasted one. He just wasted one.
Yeah. What did what's his
I'm
tuning out.
tuning out if you keep talking math, bro. I hear times and divide and my brain shuts off. Previous comment said he's reading nonfiction for information. I'm reading fiction because I want to ride a dragon. I feel that.
She's talking about me
I feel
because
that.
I just read nonfiction books.
LJ No Skill says, I believe that, man. Since hustle and flow, it's hard out here for a pimp.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Damn, I forgot about that movie. That movie dropped what, 2003?
Bro, that's
Sensational.
That was what, 2003 or 2000?
that's a
Hustle
very
and Flow.
that's a very old
Yeah.
film.
That is a good.
And then of
movie.
course
It's
he
hard out here
did
for a
Empire, and then after
did.
that was it.
You know, he was also he was really big back in the 90s.
Yes,
They did a lot of black movies and shit like that. What else was he also in? Of course, he played Rhodey from Iron Man.
Yep, but he wasn't being paid enough, so he left.
I don't think that's probably what it was. He was probably trying to promote that
Oh, that one time.
one shit.
They're like, nah, bro, we can't deal with this shit. You got some mystery on our hands.
I'm dead.
No, but like I said, I get it. No, I get it, but it's like
I get it. I don't fault the
you
guy.
can't
You know what I'm
can't
saying?
throw out the fundamentals that is math. Math is the reason why we are where we are today. You can't just throw it out, especially E equals MC squared.
Right.
You can't throw that out and just say everything is light.
Right.
So that's why 1 times 1
right.
equals 2.
Right, because he's bringing like prime example, he'll bring in quantum dynamics, harmonics, and shit like that. But there's more to it. Like there's a foundation to those ideas, to these concepts.
They're rooted in.
They're rooted in something. You can't just start from here. You see what I'm saying? Like I don't know. It's like trying to make the wheel better.
You can't start from 1 and then get to 10 and not explain how you got to 10.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? I feel it.
You know what I'm saying?
I feel it.
So, but easily I could see the reason why I'm not like, upset or anything, because I can see myself
like that.
like that.
Yes.
Because my brain is like,
Yeah, rapid fire.
I get a new piece of information, and I want
They're
to.
theories. Unless you're able to prove it,
Right.
then that's a different story.
Which is
You get
why
what
I
I'm
don't
saying?
follow headlines. Like anytime I hear something new, the headlines are to get you interested on that specific topic or that piece of science, that research. You see what I'm saying? It's like when the motherfucker said, "Oh, they found Dyson spheres in space."
Yeah, and then you're like, let me watch Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Right.
And then
We know why he said Dyson spheres, because the media loves to talk about aliens.
aliens. Yep.
But in reality, it's to bring attention to fund research on, like doing deep space.
They're trying to go to Mars. All right, they're trying to go to
Right.
Mars. Nobody's paying attention,
You know what
so
I'm
they're
saying?
trying.
So
to,
if you say buzzwords, aliens, time travel,
Spaceships,
teleportation, quantum,
spaceships.
AI, robots, you say all those buzzwords, people are going to listen.
Yep.
You see what I'm saying? People are
Because
going to
they're
listen.
so eager to see the future.
And that's where you find the most misinformed and pseudo intellectuals.
Yep.
You see what I'm saying? I'm not a profession whenever I speak on a subject. I just tell you as much as I understand, and if I'm wrong, I'm open to criticism. And if I find new information later on, I'll correct myself. You see what I'm saying? Because I do have the tendency to, my imagination. It's fucking amazing. So because I immediately tie it to science fiction. So what I'll do is I will use our modern understanding of science and physics and then try to deconstruct science fiction to as close as, okay, this is as close we are to this piece of science fiction.
Gotcha.
To this aspect of science fiction. The quantum computing. Okay, this is as far as we've gotten. And then I'll understand everything within, quantum computing. Okay, this is why quantum computing can do this. This is why it will happen. This is why it won't happen. This is why it'll take 50 years to do this. It'll take 10 years. You see what I'm saying? Which is, remember last year, what was it? The fucking, that fake ass, the floating piece of metal, the room temperature superconductor.
Yeah, I remember.
You see what I'm saying?
Because they're trying to apply it to vehicles.
Right. But what the headlines are going to tell you is, oh, we found a room temperature superconductor. Now we'll have flying cars.
And that's all they say.
And that's all they say.
And then you're like, oh, wow,
Right.
Amazing.
Superconductor, flying cars. That means we can, You see what I'm saying?
Super cool.
But they don't tell you. They release that story so it could generate interest, so they can get funding
And when it does, then they
to
continue
research
the
that thing.
Yeah.
Right. And sometimes it's just to get funding. Sometimes it's not even to continue researching the
Nope,
project.
which is why they'll randomly play it on every news channel.
Right.
Because they know people will pay attention
We'll
to
pay
that.
attention, blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm
But
saying?
yeah. So what would you like to say? Any final thoughts on our...
Any final thoughts, man? Like I say, reality can be whatever you want, but it has to be based on the truths, the absolute truths.
Yes.
The things that affect your physical world.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying? Okay, you want to talk about digitally, whatever.
Just
but like, if your understanding of the world does not compute in relation to the actions you take in real life, interacting with the physical world, then you need to start from ground zero.
Well, that's why it was crazy, because like all his attacks on the scientists were based off of feelings. Like,
right, he'd never provided any evidence or any examples.
Yeah, he's like, I feel like he attacked my paper without even actually looking at it. Like,
right.
Like the way he wrote certain things were malicious, and it's like, bro, no, he's critiquing you like he would anybody else.
This is why 1 × 1 = 1.
Exactly.
The fact that you made the one of the smartest men on the planet break down 1 × 1 = 1 is crazy.
Nuts.
Like, he had to list all the historians, all the mathematicians who literally developed the math we have today,
and they proved it.
And to prove it, right?
Yeah, and they all have proven, which is why they put the names behind all of them. You get what I'm saying?
That's true. Pythagorean
theorem, yep. All that. So it's like they all have proven it, which is why it's named. Most of them.
Yeah, that's what's crazy to me. Like, you're naming all these theories that were named after people who established the theory.
Yeah,
contradicting the theory you're trying.
But they
to.
tested the theory,
right.
and the theory tested. If the theory tested correctly, then
it becomes the law.
It becomes the law, and that's what it was. You get what I'm saying? And I think that's what he was at the end. I think that's what he was trying to do.
I think that's
he was trying to give a new name to math, so he can put the Terrence Howard equation.
What he's upset with, and I think sometimes the Terrence Howard equation,
the Howard equation, and so it's like he will
the Howard principle.
He will forever be remembered if he was able to prove it, but he didn't. He just gave us theories with no actual data of fact, with no actual data behind it. He just said it and then said, this is the reason why it is. It's like saying I am, but you're not telling me why you are.
Right.
You're just saying I am.
Okay, what are you?
Yes, exactly.
I am.
You see what I'm saying? Well, besides God, but but it's like it's in that context. It didn't computer make any sense. So
right.
That's,
no, I feel that.
Yeah, that's kind of. I think that's what he was trying to do. Personally, I'm not saying that's what he is. That's the goal, but I believe that's what he was trying to accomplish. Create a new way of math. So
I think what he's upset with is, and sometimes I feel that. Like, I feel like sometimes reality feels like it's mundane, it's slow. You know what I'm saying?
Or they're not caught up to where you're at in your head.
Right. Where we should be in my head. You know, you promised me all these things.
Yeah.
You know,
that's why you always say
the world of the future.
Yeah.
And it's like, why is it so hard to get to this? Is it our way of thinking? You see what I'm saying?
Well, that's why you always say don't say certain things because nobody knows what you're thinking. Like when Snot asked me the question about the tacos, I just automatically said to myself, they already know what I'm talking about.
Right.
But you're like, Jeff, context. They don't understand.
No one knows
so in my brain, I already thought people knew what I was talking about because anybody's watching, they're reading the chat, but not everybody's like that. So you have to read it to so people can know the context. But I get it.
Yeah. Sometimes you just want exciting shit to happen. And I feel like the angle he took was, okay, if nothing is happening in science, if science is taking this long, you know, maybe we're looking at science in the wrong way, which is why he started name dropping, like, I'm not going to say science rejects, but like those who were seen overly eccentric in the science field.
Blaspheme!
You see what I'm saying? Like, prime example, Tesla. You saw him quoting of Nikola Tesla. You know what I'm saying? And instead of using his math to prove Nikola Tesla right or show examples of where Nikola Tesla was right, he just went on to accuse the science community of being high school children and bullying those
ad hominem
who had
attacks.
different ideas. You know, it's just like they had different ideas and they were rejected because these ideas were tested over.
So there were
over
ad
and
hominem
over,
attacks.
right.
They weren't. He wasn't even really critiquing
Right.
anybody. It was just
a lot of Nikola Tesla's ideas revolved around the idea of limitless energy, but that breaks the laws of the conservation, the laws of thermodynamics and the conservation of energy. You see what I'm saying? Like the whole perpetual motion machine, right? Where it's like
constant perpetual motion,
right,
With no
mm-hmm.
nothing to continue to
inhibit it, right?
Inhibit it,
You see what I'm saying?
and that's impossible.
When you're not incorporating gravity, you're not incorporating so many things.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So many things.
Your logic is flawed. Well, what did Snot
Snot says, guess he never went through the trauma of doing math homework and hearing if Johnny has 5 apples.
And you take away 3. How many apples does Johnny have?
Bro, fuck Johnny. I'm planting an apple tree. What the hell? I'm planting an apple tree.
You what?
Oh, shit. Bruh. Crazy.
You know what I'm saying?
Crazy.
So it's just...
But is that your final thoughts, sir?
You know, yeah, that's my final thoughts.
Yeah.
And like I said, he's Terrence Howard. When you're famous and you got money, who's going to tell you no?
No, yeah.
It's not a lot of people who's going to tell you no, except for the smartest guys on the planet. Except for smarter guys on the planet, more knowledgeable people on the planet, especially when you're... Why do you think famous people can get away with being not crazy, but just like...
Their ideas, even though they're wild.
They can propagate their ideas.
Yeah, people, even though they're wild, people will listen to them.
Right.
I feel
and it's harder to tell someone no when they're paying your bills.
Yeah.
When they're giving you a check.
I feel it.
You see what I'm saying? Like you go to an accountant and say, invest all my money in sell my house or leverage my house all on Sheeb.
And then you get 20% of whatever I make.
But they can't tell you no.
Yeah, because that's money in their pocket.
Right, because you're paying them for the service.
Yep.
They could give you advice and be like, no, this is terrible, da-da-da, because you're also paying them for that. But if you're like, I don't care about your advice, do this right now, I'm paying you.
Then there's nothing you can do.
That's crazy.
I believe he should have done more research.
But look at how he's even doing research.
Or even have... Reading is not...
That's right, because he was reading.
Well, I was going to say he also needed to test the theory. If the theory did not come to conclusion, he's Terrence Howard, right? He has money, right? So if the theory did not come to conclusion or the results that he wanted, then he should have gave up on it, but he didn't. He just wrote it, read it, and then said, "This is it. This is what it is."
That's why.
How long did they test their theories before they got it right? Their entire lives,
bro.
And they had short lives.
His theories still being.
They had short lives,
right?
They lived from what,
right,
1 to 30, 40,
right.
40 was old age.
Usually the smartest motherfuckers live till like 70, 80.
70,
You gotta remember,
okay.
when you were in that class of scholars,
Gotcha.
you had health care, you
Gotcha.
had money,
Gotcha.
you had notoriety.
I feel it.
So of course you were gonna live longer.
Access to.
Right.
Gotcha.
You had access to education and
Gotcha.
stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I get it though. I get it, man. It's tough. It's tough when information is so readily available.
Gotcha.
You know, it's like when we talked about college, like back in the day, how it was an exclusive thing. Not everyone needs to go to college.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, she's right. She's right.
Yeah. They're still called theories for a reason.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
You know?
She's right.
They're called theories.
That's why
for
you
a
test
reason.
it. If you can prove it, then it becomes law.
Right.
But if you can't
A
prove it,
theory is as close as you'll get to a law.
Yep.
And as further away you'll get from a hypothesis.
Exactly. If you can prove it, then it becomes a law. If you can't, then it stays a theory.
Right.
And as of right now, it sounds like, well, I feel like, and this is what I quote, and this and that, and the other.
He's not using his own data. He's using data from back in the day. And then, of course, his own feelings, his own interpretation of how he feels the science community treated scientists who had otherworldly ideas.
Yes, exactly.
Ideas that really challenged physics and the laws of reality. And let me not say law of nature, because he really tried to push the idea of the laws of nature. Yeah, math is not a law of nature, which is why it doesn't apply to physical objects. But other than that, Sorry for boring everybody.
No, you're good. I think this was like an educational thing. Plus, they kind of got a perspective of how we kind of view the world, and
That's how I consume information.
yeah. We read actual books, guys, like paper,
I'm dead.
not the digital, like the
No, I save paper.
youngins.
I save paper.
No, I save the books, so if somebody else wants to read it,
Oh, I feel that. Right.
like
You gonna do photocopies?
right,
Wait, doesn't the Internet Archive got like books you can just?
not for free. You gotta
gotta
audible
pay?
it. You gotta audible it, or you gotta Kindle Fire or
The Internet Archive?
Kindle Paper it.
This episode's gone.
You what?
Sensational. Nah, I fuck
I
with
feel it.
Terrence hard.
I feel it.
Nah,
So that means
I
she
fuck-
saw. That means she saw the
I
video.
fuck with Terrence.
She fu-
hard.
she,
he's just nah, man.
He
He
hasn't
just
been.
went unchecked.
Yeah,
That's
he
just
has.
What it
Well, because
is.
he hasn't been active in years too. Ever
Right.
since Empire finished, he's just been out.
Right, he just hasn't been.
So, but no.
Yeah, he's been on his personal
Journey, yeah.
closer to the truth,
Well, he ain't close enough.
farther from the truth. It ain't closer. he
Keep
farther
looking,
from the
buddy.
truth. Oh,
Keep-
man.
Keep
Boy.
fucking looking, cause you ain't there.
You what?
Oh shit! But
GPS lost signal. He
yep.
on LTE. He left 5G, went to LTE. That's
he
crazy.
thought he hit 6G, but it didn't happen
that's
yet.
tough. Nigga went to 1G.
Yeah, bro.
That's crazy.
Pull an Xbox, discless,
This
always on, downloadable content. Oh
that's
man!
crazy.
But yeah, man. So I agree with your thought process. I just wanted to get your perspective on it and all that stuff like that. But it was like I said, that was a good conversation that we had. And of course, like I said, we also talk about how we consume our information. And yes, even though some of it sounds crazy or what we read doesn't adhere to certain realities, that doesn't mean we go out saying it to people.
Right. I'm not
You know
gonna
what I'm
tell you.
It's just
Right.
again at the end of the day, it's just so I can.
I'm not gonna tell you to believe something.
Yeah, it's
I'm not
for
saying
at the end of the day,
thi-
it's just
right.
for us to better understand what it is. You
Mhm.
get what I'm saying? So
Mhm.
that's what
What is it? What it is?
Yes. What is it?
What is
What it is?
It is what it is. When they say it is what it is, what is it?
Exactly. But
This is what it is. You know what it is.
exactly.
You know what it is.
All right, sir.
You know what I'm saying? You know what it is. It's like now. We're done talking. You know what it is.
Yeah, you know what time it is?
You know what time it is.
All right, guys. Thank you again for joining us at the tabletop. If you want to catch and watch our ugly mugs on Tuesdays and Thursdays, we're on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Pandora, Deezer, TuneIn, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, and now YouTube Music. We also have our YouTube channel, One Word, Tabletop Topics, our Triple T's Clips channel, and our TikTok. So if you click on the links, it'll take you directly to the episodes. And of course, we have timestamps so you can navigate throughout. Don't forget to like, subscribe, ring the notification bell, and of course, leave us a comment. Again, guys, thank you again for joining us at the tabletop. You have a good night, weekend, evening, and day, and we'll see you on Tuesday.
Good night, Snot.
Good night, Snot.
Good night, LJ. Appreciate y'all stopping by.
Appreciate you guys. Thank you again.
Solid.
Yep.